Hey, John here. I'm a stoic investor and entrepreneur. I study first principles and the psychology of investing, and I seek out social trends to maximize my effectiveness in every market. Throughout the rest of this video, I'll reveal what I believe to be the starting point of every successful investor who's ever lived. It's why I believe that many people fail at investing, and why I know that everyone can succeed. My brand is called The Trader's Journey because I believe that investing closely matches the literary story archetype of the hero's journey, identified by Joseph Campbell. A departure from the old, an exploration of the new, a crucible that shapes you, and a final battle and triumphant return. The three stages of the hero's journey. Ultimately, the trader's journey makes us more like the hero that we need to be to accomplish our goals. Important thing to note real quick. None of the following should be construed as financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Every person's risk tolerance is very different, and you really should consult a financial professional before making these decisions. Okay, so the first thing you need to know about markets is that they are chaos. Everyone's making completely different decisions, and that leads to a ton of unpredictability. Thankfully, strategically applied order helps us find our way through all that chaos. And our level of discipline will predict our long-term success in a market. Discipline is orderly conduct or patterns of behavior. It's the true nature of the rule sets that we use to protect ourselves from risk and to capture reward. The problem is, how do we determine what rule sets to use? Because everyone's got a different idea. In my experience, I found that the key is creating rule sets that do one of two things: dramatically decrease risk or dramatically increase reward. If we can get something that does that, we just have to consider the effectiveness. And then it's very important that these rule sets are based on what are called lead measures. A lead measure is a metric for actions or activities that lead to the completion of a goal. It leads our target. A lag measure, on the other hand, is a metric for performance that's easier to measure, but it's much harder to influence the result. And so if we craft our trading rule sets around lead measures, we can influence our goals much more effectively. For example, one of my lead measures is taking a financial checkpoint when I reach a certain amount of the potential in a given trade. Just like in a video game, I need to save my progress occasionally. And so if I believe an NFT or a stock or an option is going to go 1000% or 10 times my money, and it reaches 300% or 3 times my money, I'll probably take a financial checkpoint there, even if I believe that it's going to reach the full 1000%. And that's because the future perceived potential at that point isn't much more than another 333% or another 3 times my money. So it makes sense to capture some value now when I've already gone 3 times my money. And then what's left, I can take that risk on because I've already taken some profits. I've already moved up the step ladder a little bit. And on the opposite side, a lag measure would be something like making $2,000 a month in trades. That's not necessarily an outsized goal, but it's based on other metrics that are much better at affecting the outcome, the lead measures. So if I focus on the result, the 2,000 a month, and not on the steps to get to it, creating more videos or putting out more content, um, the specifics, the nuts and bolts, it's going to be much harder for me to succeed. My absolute favorite lead measures are social trends because social trends are the social activities and actions that cause prices to go up or down. If we follow the social trends, the lead measures, then we can capture the value much more effectively than if we attempt to chase prices. And this, if you've ever read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, this will be very, very familiar. He talks a lot about lead measures and lag measures. It's good stuff. Um, However, focusing solely on lead measures only gets us part of the way there. It's very useful, but it's incomplete. Most of investing isn't about what other people do, it's about what we, the investor, do. And so our strategy and our tactics should be customized to deal with the investor's public enemy number one. As an investor, our biggest enemy, your biggest enemy, is your own mind, your own mind, your own emotions. That's not hyperbole, that's a fact. The treasure map for an investor is discovering our psychological weaknesses. If we can determine what mistakes we're likely to make, we can build defenses for those so we don't make them again in the future. And so that's why learning from experience is so useful, because the mistakes we've already made are the ones that we're likely to make again. And it indicates what vulnerabilities we might have. And so we can definitely prepare with other people's experience and other people's knowledge. But the most impactful way to improve our strategies as investors is to analyze our own behavior. It's so important. It's why trading journals are so key. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu said, "The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity to defeat the enemy." And while it, whether or not we can truly be beyond the possibility of defeat, we should shoot for it. Because if we can get close, then we're miles ahead of where we were. And that is the trader's journey. That is what this channel is all about. The psychology, the strategy, it all boils down to self-development. It's how can we view the world in a way that allows us to proceed and capture more value and mitigate our risk. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. I really appreciate you. Okay, so if you're still here, I've got one more thing for you. Now, inspiration is valuable, but transformation is so much better. So I want to leave you with one piece of actionable advice. Find one of your vulnerabilities, one emotional weakness that has led to mistakes in the past, and write it down on a piece of paper. And below it, write down a defense for it. That is the first step in creating a battle-worthy investing strategy. It's how we get better as investors. You've got this. I'll catch you guys next time.